Alright farmers, we've got a new map, sort of. This is Prairie Farm Michigan by Taylor Farms, 200.64 megabyte on the download, and it's been out on PC, but now it's out on consoles. That's why we're going to have a look at it today. And it says, welcome to Prairie Farm Michigan. The map represents 1/3 of a real-life location in Michigan. The map terrain closely matches this location, as well as the field layouts and ditches. Excellent. So what are we talking about from a slot count perspective? If you come on here on Farm Manager and start from scratch, you will use a low, very low, 620 slots. That's all right. If you come on here on New Farmer, you're going to use 887. Now, the difference obviously is going to be the equipment, because you don't get any on Farm Manager and start from scratch, but obviously you do on New Farmer. But also, there's a building that's not here on Farm Manager and start from scratch, which is the main farmhouse. Fair enough. So what about the equipment? What do we start with? So if we go in here under small tractors, we've got the John Deere 6110M, and we've got the Massey Ferguson MF 3709AL. We've got under large tractors, we've got the John Deere 8R280 and then the John Deere 9420R. Oh, that's all right. And then under trucks, we've got the Mack Superliner 6x4. Under harvesters, we've got the Case Axial Flow 9250. Under cars, we've got the Lizard Pickup 2017 and the John Deere XUV 865M. Under trailers, we've got the Load King Distinction Triple Hopper. Under headers, we've got the Case 3162 Terraflex Draper 45 foot. Then we'll come down to the corn headers. We've got the Case 4418N. And we'll come on to ploughs, which is a bit strange compared to the rest of the equipment, because we've got the Passenger Servo 25. A 1.2 metre working width on that one. It seems out of place with the rest of it, I must admit. But alright, we'll carry on. Under cultivators, we've got the Rosselmash K12200 and then the Horsch Terrano 3FX. So you've got a small and a big on that one. So you go for whichever one you want. Under disc harrows, we've got the Case Speed Tiller 465. Under seeders, again, we've got a small and a large. We've got the Amazon Citon 15001C and then the Nordsten HK25 Plus NS3030. So again, small or large, you pick whichever one you want. And then under planters, again, we've got the small version and the large version. So we've got the John Deere 1775 NT and then the Agromaz Falcon 3. Under sprayers, we've got the Hardy Mega 1200L and then obviously the front tank, the Mega 1200L tank. Then we'll come down to fertilizer spreaders. We've got the Amazon ZG TS 10001. And then under header trailers, we've got the Nardi N7030. And that's what I mean by the plough. That on its own, you got the others that have got a small and a large version, but on the plough, you've just got a small version. And then when we look at the map, you'll see why that's strange, because these fields are huge. Absolutely huge. But that's good. Depending on how you want to play, if you wanted to play, just straight up farming, these are great. Fair enough. Now, what about the land that we own? Obviously, Farm Manager start from scratch, you don't own anything. But New Farmer, you own Field 5, Area 19, and then Area 21. So Area 19 is going to be where your main farm is. 21's got a bit of a building on, and then this massive Field 5 that you've got there, which also has a ditch in the middle of it. Yeah, just bear that in mind, because you might get stuck. That's a better word for it, in that ditch if you're not too careful. So I'd imagine a few AIs are going to be a bit of an issue with ditches on here, but all right, fair enough. Now, obviously, we start the game here by your main farm. You start it on all 3 game modes. Obviously, the house is here on New Farmer. So you've got your sleep trigger at the front, just there. Jobs are good 'em. And then we'll come round here, because you've got a few buildings. And if you've played Frank and Muff and Michigan Farms, you'll recognise these buildings, because it's all part of the trilogy. Yeah, all 3 of them are linked. So you've got a big barn there. Most of your equipment, fair enough. Big door at the other end. Big door at the side there. We'll come down here. We've got another building. So open up these doors like that. There we are. So inside you've got your workshop trigger. So obviously pull your vehicle in, hit the spanner. And if we come out of there, and we'll go down the road a little. I mean, I must admit, this map is nice and big. If you're into your big farming, this could be a map for you. Obviously be careful with the ditches down the side of the roads, because, yeah, I could see some workers definitely getting stuck quite easily, because some of the fields do edge up to the ditches really close. But all right, fair enough. We'll cross over the road, and we've got this building here, so we'll open up that door like There we are. Open it up. Oh, yeah. Let's open the other side. So there's more of your equipment in there. Obviously, massive barn for a bit of storage. And that's basically your start farm, which is all right. You know, nice big areas for storing some stuff. You've got big pieces of equipment. They're going to fit in there, no problem. Now, the first place we're going to go is right over the road from your start farm. Yeah, I mean, if you're one of those people that likes to sell all the stuff off and then go buy new stuff, you haven't got far to transport it, which is ace, because it's that white building there, right over the road from your main start farm, which is excellent. John Deere dealership as well. And we'll watch out for the traffic. There we are. Run over quick. So you got your main shop icon just there, because your workshop trigger is down here. So pull your vehicle in the hatch marking area, hit your spanner, jobs are good, and obviously the main spawn point is going to be this area here. Now there is some toys, collectibles, whatever you want to call it, because we've got one here actually. So we'll click on that, get close enough. There you are. Collect that. Grand. Jobs are good. Fair enough. Fair enough indeed. Right, we're going to move on then, because we're going to come down to this area down here. So this is going to be a sell point for you. So this is called Grain Silo South. So obviously come down here, load it into the grating. Fair enough. Then we'll come back out of there. We'll come down the road a little, because we've got another sell point down here. Now this looks like the farmer's market building. So we'll come over to it just to make sure. Farmer's market on the side. Is it going to be called that on the map? We'll click on that there. Yeah, Prairie Farms Farmer's Market. So you've got your loose stuff going in there and your pallets going in there. Then we'll spin around the other side, past all these parked cars. Fair enough. And you've got a wood sell point. So obviously pull your trailer over there, hit the sell wood icon. Fair enough. So we're going to come over here, because this is ace. If you're doing sugar beets, and to be fair, there's some big fields on here, so you're going to have loads of sugar beets. You've got 2 of these. And what these basically are sugar beet cleaners. You buy them as a production chain, so you load your stuff in there. Obviously, it's going to chuck all the sugar beets out the back, and it will sell the sugar beets on the hour if you put the stuff in. But what you also get, we're clocking out, we'll buy it, 15 grand each, yeah. Tar very much. You get tear dirt. That's something a little different. So what you do, you chuck your sugar beets in there. Obviously the sugar beets get sold off, as I said, but the tear dirt comes out of here. So it's sort of more of an immersive thing on the go. So obviously it's cleaning the sugar beets, and then you take the dirt out of there, you put it back on your field, and you just plough it back in or cultivate it back in. Didn't seem to do anything with a fertilising state where I tried it, but you know, for a more immersive thing, obviously you want to keep all the topsoil as much as you can on the fields. And there's 2 of them down here. Fair enough, I like that. Right, we'll move on again. So if we go back up to the map like that, we're now going to come all the way up to the top of the map here. So this is going to be your animal dealer, but also a sell point as well. So you've got your animal dealer icon area just there for you. And then you've got your sell point there. Now, there is no animal pens on the map, so you will need to place those down. But that's not really that much of a problem, because there's massive amounts of space. The map is really flat, so it's going to be good for that. Fair enough. Now, we're going to carry on, because that's basically it. Apart from a couple of buildings that you can buy. But you do need to own the area first. So we've got area 23 just there. So we'll buy that. 22. Yes. And we're going to see you over there. Just as we're having a little run over there, we're in this massive field. Field 4. It's got potatoes in. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd fancy doing a massive field of potatoes, but that's going to take you forever. But what I do want to show you whilst we're coming over here is the ditches. And we'll see how... yeah, look at them. Look how close the fields are to that ditch. I think the workers are definitely going to get stuck in there. So just bear that in mind. Maybe run a couple of headlands around the whole field just before you let them loose with your tractor. Because I'd imagine they are easily going to be able to get themselves in a bit of a mess. But all right, we'll carry on over to those buildings there. Right, so now we're at this area at the top of the map. Because we've bought it, we can now open these buildings up. Pretty much the same ones on the start farm, but if you wanted to come on here on Farm Manager start from scratch, it just gives you a different starting option if you really wanted to. And this one's got the workshop trigger in there, and obviously you've got another little shed. We're going to, I say little, they're not little, they're big, but all right, you know what I mean. Yeah, we could start up here. I mean, this area is only like, what was it, 26 grand we paid for it? Oh, that's all right. And that's basically it. But we'll have a little flyover because we'll just see how big these fields are, because they are big, really big. And I think, me personally, if I was going to come on here, I think this is a map ideally suited to the Lizard Colossus Harvester, one with like 150 litres capacity on the grain tank. Yeah, especially for us on console, that would be brilliant. No, bits nice and flat, apart from those ditches that you do need to be a bit careful of. Nice, big, open and flat. There is no forest area, unless you wanted to plant them yourself. You just go for it. This is definitely a farming map, and I like it. Big farming all day. Excellent. Right, so that's your map tour done for you. Drop in the comments below. Are you going to smash out some fields, place some animal pens down, or even plant some trees? We'll see what people are looking at. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It's muchly appreciated. But for me, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.